833-390-KRBE is our phone number. Don't call right now. I'm giving you the number so you have it ready to go because you know the answer to that. You can crack that code easy. 9 o'clock's your first chance to do that. Now I'm going to switch gears here. What is something that all of us did, hopefully y'all did this before y'all came to work, that most everybody does or should do? Because if you're not doing this, you nasty. Tic-tac.
All right, would that be...
It's waking up and brushing your teeth. Okay. Can we all fairly say that every one of us, before we left our house in the morning, I don't care what day of the week it is, you wake up, you brush your teeth.
Yes.
I don't know if it's before you pee, after you pee, when you shower, in the shower, it doesn't matter, but you do it fairly soon after you wake up.
Yes.
Now, what hand do you use to brush your teeth?
The dominant hand, the right hand.
My right hand, because I'm dominant.
And I'm left-handed, and I use my left. Eric, you're left-handed? Do you? Okay.
I do.
Right or left? You're ambidextrous. Okay.
That's the word.
Most
I'm
people...
Wait, that's the wrong word.
Ambidextrous.
There's Eric's new stager. Meet Eric.
I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
So it says here, if you want to change the trajectory of your day, if you want to feel smarter, if you want to foster growth of new brain cells, and boost your mental clarity and creativity, all it takes is switching hands when you brush your teeth.
What?
If you brush your teeth with the other hand, it does all those things.
I'm never going to remember that.
Like last week when I tried combing my hair the other way.
Oh, yeah.
The whole day I felt wrong. Off.
You were so off.
It's like Bizarro Eric.
I did that once and it felt weird the whole
fosters
day.
the growth of new brain cells, Eric.
I don't know if I could even brush my teeth with the right hand.
Try it.
Have it on the wrong hand. It's like writing with the wrong hand.
It doesn't feel natural.
It won't feel natural.
All right, let's all
I
try
feel
that
like
tomorrow.
you're going to miss
We're
some
going to have the
teeth.
best show tomorrow. We're going to sound so smart. What happens to you?
You're supposed to grow new brain cells. You have mental clarity. You're more creative.
All right. I need those.
Let's do
The
that.
switch changes the side of your brain that you're stimulating, fostering the growth of new brain cells if you brush your teeth with the other hand, not the dominant hand that you usually use.
I am the smartest man alive!
Well, let's see what happens,
I
my
want to know if
friends.
there's anybody listening that can text us if they went to this place for their vacation.
37530 is the text number, by the
Now,
way.
this place, Roula and Ryan were at this place. I'm not sure if they visited inside it or not.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up. I almost talked about this. We have the same brain.
Yeah.
Go.
Let's
Go.
hear it.
Forget Disney World, they're saying. You need to go on vacation to Mall of America in Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
It's near Minneapolis. I know you two had to do a speaking
What is the
engagement.
randomness that Ryan and I went there together because we had to go to an award ceremony. We
That's
got an
what it was.
award. And it was me and Ryan and Ingrid
They
from our
say
digital department.
They get
We went in.
400 million visitors a year to this because it's the largest mall
of the
in
Americas.
the world.
Yeah. It's
Or at
really
least in
cool.
the United States. 520 stores, 50 restaurants, 2 hotels, 2 mini golf courses, zip line, aquarium, and a theme park is all
park.
in this.
There's a roller coaster
People
in
go
there.
on.
That's what we
Now I
rode.
could. If you're from Iowa, Wisconsin, Dakotas, I could see you going there. But
Yeah.
there's no way on God's green earth that a Houstonian would go there for their vacation.
But to fly up there?
Just for that, with no family,
Just
no
no
reason
family.
other than just to go to that mall.
Unless you had
Is that what
family
you're
there,
saying?
it makes sense. But that's not really a vacation. That's family.
37530, if you have chosen the Mall of the Americas to be your vacation destination, not under, pressure that, hey, go visit Aunt Edna. She's an I. No.
no.
You
Right.
are just, you could throw a dart at the American states and say, family, where should we spend our money on vacation this year? And you guys chose Mall of the Americas
Oh,
in
God.
Minnesota.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
37530 if that's happened.
It's really cool, but the thing is,
Like you go fishing or something. You could do a fishing little trip for 3 or 4 days, go there for a day.
yeah, if you had other things to do, which is the same reason, like, I always thought it'd be fun to see Mount Rushmore, but I don't really want to go there because
There's nothing
after I
else.
see it, what else do I do
Isn't
there?
that the city of gold in there?
Oh, that was National
yeah,
Treasure, too.
That was on that
Yeah,
side.
That was the second one.
Yeah,
no,
that
but
was
I mean,
not
the
the
Mall
one.
of Americas was fun. We went on a roller coaster ride. But if you're the kind of
Would
person...
you go on vacation to go? Would you take your daughter there?
Yeah, would you go to your
God,
way?
no.
Your fiance?
No. It's like, and if you're if you're a type of person that gets overwhelmed by people, you'll really hate it.
Well, when we went, it wasn't full at all. I feel like it was
They call us
really
number-
empty.
I felt like it was on the floor
Ahmad,
down
did
by
somebody-
the roller coaster.
Text that they went to Mall of America.
Oh, yeah, I see
Call
that.
them real quick. See if we can get
We've
them on.
gone to Minneapolis, Mall of America twice for vacation.
Oh,
That's what the texter said.
Oh,
But that means like
Twice.
there's no other reason you went there other than that
I mean,
mall.
think about it. Most of the stores in there, you can get anywhere. It's like
But
the
it's
United States of
experience to say
Generica.
that
We
you've
have the
been
same
there.
shops
And is that one of
everywhere.
those things that we have to like tackle it in 2 days? Because I mean, clearly we didn't walk the whole mall. When me and Ryan and Ingrid went, we just I remember we ate at a restaurant, we walked a couple of places.
Did it feel
saw the
special?
theme
Did it
park.
feel like it's Like,
I mean,
the
not the
Lego
Galleria.
store.
you know,
the food court where the roller coaster is, it was really impressive. They're like, wow, this
And the-
it's
wasn't
like
the Lego
size
store
of,
right near
like,
there?
the NRG Stadium in there.
Yeah. Wasn't
It's
the Lego
huge.
store near there, right? We had
Yeah.
these huge displays of Legos that were like, wow, that is a huge going
Yeah.
there. It was like 2
And
stories.
Bloomington, is it like a suburb of Minneapolis?
I don't know. You know,
It's gotta
honestly,
be. It's
Eric,
right there, right?
It was
It's all-
really close to the airport.
of all the work trips we've ever taken, and we've taken a lot, and all the awards that we've had to go to a ceremony for, that was the most drab in existence experience.
It was. The hotel
Like,
was
think
terrible.
of like a gray room with the fluorescent lights fluttering. It was like that.
Was it winter or was
Everything
it
was
fall?
gray and brown. Like the restaurant and the hotel, remember, Ryan? It was like, it wouldn't even like serve, it like didn't even have like the bare basics. Like, I just want to get some coffee. We're not serving that right now.
And I don't mind staying
It's like,
anywhere,
oh,
but this
Lord.
was
Now I'm
like,
thinking I might
it
change
was-
my mind though because I could go see Prince Museum
Paisley
in
Park.
Minneapolis.
and then
Yeah.
see this mall and then get some walleye. Yum.
I just
some
remember like
walleye.
they used to allow smoking there, and you
In the
could,
mall?
No, like in the hotels,
Oh.
because you and I were staying in that
We had
hotel, and I was like,
hotels.
oh my
Cigarettes.
god, it
Yeah.
just smelled like an ashtray.
Let's go to Alicia on the line. Hi, Alicia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Morning.
So you've chosen the Mall of the Americas as your vacation destination with no other obligations. There's not some funeral
No.
happening, some wedding, some family reunion. You just
No.
chose it.
We have no family in Minnesota. My husband works at the airline, so we fly for free.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And we went to the Mall of America just for my daughter when she was born. And this was pre-COVID, so everything was open. It was awesome. And they also had a water park across the way.
Oh, really?
And I think we were like within 5 minutes. So there was like a trolley that took us, back and forth to like, Mall of America or whatever.
Did
and
you
then
love
I
it?
think the water pass was like unlimited use while you were there. So it was a blast.
What about
and
the
then
mall
second
though?
time we
Did you
went-
like the mall the first time? I mean, were you like, wow, this is
Oh, yes.
beautiful?
It was like, oh my God, so many stories. I mean, yeah, it's like redundant, the same stories, but it was just, I guess, the experience,
Did you enjoy
course.
all the rides, the amusement park that's built inside of it?
Oh, yes. They had Nickelodeon. So this was, again, pre-COVID, so everything was open. Back then, like, TMNT was super huge. So there were all interactive characters there. They had a Barbie store where your daughter could, like, dress up and, like, do this whole, like, skit.
Wow.
And it was fun.
That sounds cool.
But after COVID, it was different. So,
Interesting.
We went, like,
before COVID,
let's
so I don't know what's
see.
like after.
yeah, after COVID, not everything was open. There wasn't many characters. A lot of the stores were different, but it was still fun. But the second time we stayed at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh,
yeah, that's
right.
fun.
Okay, now let me ask you this, Alicia. Do you feel like if you didn't have free flights, would you go? And before you answer, the reason I'm asking that is because people who are texting us that went are telling us that they are like flight attendants. It's a great layover, but I wouldn't go there on my own and things like that. So if you didn't have free flights, would you still have picked it?
I probably would have looked for a deal, maybe just to get the experience like it. Now, would I've gone twice? Probably not.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fun.
One person said they went to an Astros game. They traveled for an Astros game at Target Field, and then they went to the Mall
see,
of
that'd be
America. So
fun.
it's like a twofer.
And then you go see
Yeah.
Prince Museum.
Paisley Park.
See Paisley Park. That'd be kind of fun.
That's when you walk in the door of that. That's where his remains are. They've got an urn, so when you walk in
yeah,
the
you
door,
can see the Rockets play, the Timberwolves. You can see them play.
but there's
there.
just so
this-
many things
that
to
is a
see.
a sporting event, and then that's like Cleveland. I want to see the Rock and Roll
Hall of Fame.
but
I
that's
have
all
no
there is.
desire to go to Cleveland.
No.
Yeah, but I went to
But if I
Cleveland
went for a
twice. And
baseball
also
game-
the Christmas Story house is there. Remember I told you guys? The
Yes.
Christmas Story house, Ralphie's house, the real house they filmed in was there. So it's two for there too.
See those two things,
Yeah.
and just see a game, and then
Yeah.
it's a fun weekend.
If
I
like the
guess.
Astros are playing the Guardians or the Texans are playing the Browns, defeating the Browns.
I mean, if people fly here, they're going to go to NASA.
NASA, of course.
But NASA's
Maybe
a far
Galveston.
drive. I mean, let's be real. People don't realize that
Not
NASA
from hobby.
is not like, hey, I'm going to fly into IAH. I'm going to stay in the Galleria or City Center area. And tomorrow we're going to wake up early and go to NASA. There's like a 45 to 50
Yeah,
minute
but if you
drive.
fly into like hobby, that's not that far a jaunt.
I don't know, like what hotels are close to NASA. I'm sure they've got to have some. But when I drive
Yeah, they're
45
nice.
to Galveston,
Over
I'm
in
not
Clear
noticing
Lake?
anything big off of 45.
Keep a boardwalk.
Yeah.
There's Great Wolf Lodge now in
And then
Webster.
you can see where that lady ran over people.
Oh, I stayed in that hotel
gosh,
one time.
Claire Harris.
We did
Oh,
we
man.
did a fishing trip. Me and my college buddies. This is maybe like I don't know, 15 years ago. And we walked around the parking lot and we're like, oh, this is where she ran over him over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
They call it the Clara Hilton.
I'm sure people are going to.
But they don't like that.
There is a
probably
whole
not.
sector of our population that does. I bet that likes to do that. Go to places of famous like murders or killings or weird
yeah.
things like that.
Oh my God,
Ryan,
It's creepy.
there's Ryan. Here goes the graveyard.
Ryan goes to graveyards.
Sam would go to that stuff. She likes that stuff.
Now, coming up next,
If
we're
it
gonna-
has a brewery,
if it has a brewery and it's dog friendly, Sam's there.
I'm down.
All right. Now, all of us have had situations where we had somebody in our lives that were so great and fantastic as a friend, and then something happened. It soured the relationship. Friend divorce was imminent. And then others just have POS friends. They didn't realize their friends were POSs, but they were. You know what that is.
They're grandfathered in. You can't
Say it
get
like
rid
that
of
for
them,
earmuffs.
but they're not the best.
So, do you have a friend like that? And then you finally had to friend divorce. Last week, we got quite the story of a 25-year friendship that came to an end because of a drunken reveal. So, we'll further explain that if you missed it, and we want to hear from you. 833-390-KRBE. Do you have a crap friend?
Yeah, what did
Did
they
that
do?
person do
They had to do
to
something.
end the friendship?
20 years, and then they did something. It's like,
Crap friend.
That's it. You're done.
I can't believe you, after all these years, you threw it all away for this.
happened to me.
What happened there? We'll talk about next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
I think we've all been in that situation where a friendship soured, where you're just like, man, this guy, POS.
Well, I haven't had a POS friend. I've just
Done
been
with
friend
them.
divorced from. But this all comes from our phone call last week with one of our loyal listeners who, after 25 years of amazing friendship, she has blocked her friend because her friend got intoxicated and told everyone at a block party that this woman's child is actually not her child. It's her grandchild. She adopted her because her teen daughter got pregnant. Destroyed the friendship.
So messed up.
And then she had
We-
to tell her 9-year-old daughter that
You actually aren't my daughter. You're my
Biologically.
I'm your
Your-
grandma.
your sister is your,
And the child cried for 3 hours after that.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was horrible.
They haven't talked since.
So that's what brought up the question. Do you have a friend? They did something to end the relationship, ruin the relationship. So we're going to go to Shantasia first. Hi, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show at 833-390-KRBE. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning.
Am I saying your name right? Shantasia or Shantasia?
Shantavia.
Shantasia.
Shantasia. Okay. Thank you so much for calling the show. Tell about the POS friend. What happened?
So I had a friend. She wasn't really being a good mom. So I ended up getting custody of her first child. I had her since she was probably 3.
Hey,
then
can you back
she
up
ended
a
up-
second? How did you get custody? Are you a relative or?
No, I met her in, I think I was like in 10th grade.
Uh-huh.
We lost contact. I got in contact with her again magically, but she was one of those friends my mom didn't want me around because she was
Okay.
always in trouble.
And moms always know.
so yeah.
Moms always
Yeah,
know.
and she was right because
Yeah.
at the end, like, it's really crazy. But yeah, she was one of those friends. I ended up getting her daughter. It was like a CPS case. I don't know if it's still ongoing, so I don't know if I can say like so much.
Yeah, don't say too
No,
much.
no, yeah, no.
Right.
I don't get you in trouble.
But because it
Yeah,
was a
she lost-
CPS case, you got the kids in the meantime instead of going to foster care? Is that what you mean by you got the kids?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had her temporarily.
Got
then it ended up happening to her second child.
Oh, no.
She was acting crazy with her child in the car, tried to run over her
Oh,
husband.
God.
Yeah. So that happened, and I didn't have any kids. So it was like when I got her first child, I had to figure everything out, putting her in school. With the second child, pretty much the same thing, and they didn't know how to talk. It was like stuff that happened, so they were like behind on talking and all that other stuff.
Which,
Well,
by the way,
eventually-
I mean, kudos to you. I mean, being thrust into that situation of responsibility, you're an awesome person.
yeah, that's my. I'm too nice, and she would get over on me a lot.
Oh, man.
It was a lot. I've almost gotten fights because of her.
Oh, Lord.
She put me in a lot of stuff.
Oh,
but
Lord.
at the end, I ended up having a baby. She was like probably 6 months. She wanted her kids back. She was trying to get into this program with the system, and they would help her if she had her kids. The end of the story was she ended up calling CPS on me, said I took my child in my car and tried to run over my fiance, which was not true. So it got canceled, but
What?
I was talking to the social worker, and they told me, you've been trying, you keep trying. At this point, just give her kids back. So I gave her kids back. She don't have her kids. They're with someone else. And the same thing pretty much happened with her sister.
Oh,
And it's
Lord.
crazy. She just texted me. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's my crazy story.
Well, listen, I'm glad that she's definitely a toxic person that you do not need in your life. It's just unfortunate because there's no way you didn't create a bond with her kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they probably had a lot of stability with you.
How long did you have those children?
I had her first child. She was, I think I had her till she was like 6 or 7.
From childbirth?
Yes. When she was a baby, it was pretty much back and forth. I would get her, and then she would come and pick her up. So it was like, first I didn't want kids, and then eventually I wanted kids. I'm like, okay, if I have my own baby, she can't take my child.
Whoa.
Wow.
So do you
So you're a
ever
mom.
talk to those kids now? I'm just curious. You're just totally out of their lives?
I am totally out of their lives. If I have to cut her off, I had to cut the kids off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her
I'm so
mom
sorry.
calls and checks up on me and stuff because they know I did a lot. And
Yeah.
what the coldest part was, she got mad where she tried because I found out she was on drugs. I didn't believe it, but she had like a group of her crackhead friends or whatever you want to call them trying to jump me or something.
Oh,
so I had to
goodness
completely move.
gracious.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Poor kids.
Well, I'm glad you're gone from that toxic person and her circle. It's just
poor her,
unfortunate
too.
the kids are the collateral damage.
Because she's got this bond. She was mom for 6 years.
Totally. Oh, Shantasia, thanks for sharing your story. We're moving on to Lauren at 833-390-KRVE.
She got out. These kids are still with her?
I know, the
yeah,
kids
they're
are still
stuck.
there.
That's what I
CPS
say, poor
does not
kids.
always make the wisest decisions.
We're talking about bad friends, POS friends. What do they do that made you end the relationship? Hi, Lauren. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
So who was it in your life? Like a childhood friend, a college friend, a neighbor?
Yeah. Yeah, we had been friends since kindergarten. We had older siblings that were friends, so it was kind of like a forced friendship that like grew pretty decently. And as we got older, she was just awful throughout the entire time. And like my mom also told me like, hey, she's not really a good person. Maybe
Like awful
and I was
in
like,
what way?
Mommy,
Give us an
you know what I'm
example.
saying. So she, whenever I was a teenager, told me that I was too heavy and needed to start taking water pills to lose weight or to start puking.
Oh, my God.
What the Lord?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
because she didn't want to be friends with like a fat girl, and I wasn't even like big at the time. I was like playing sports and stuff, so I was just muscular. And she was like, "No, that's gross."
Oh,
And
no.
as
What
we
a
got
POS.
older, it progressed. Yeah, she stole a bunch of like jewelry that my boyfriend at the time had gotten for me. Said she didn't, but she would post pictures wearing it. I'm like, girl, I know that's mine, but whatever.
Oh, my,
Oh, my God.
And then she, me and my boyfriend at the time had gotten pregnant. I had miscarried, and she said, well, it's a good thing. You're too young. Because, I mean, I was young. We were 19. So,
Still.
You suffered
yeah, I
that
was
horrible
young. But, like, you
loss.
still don't say that to someone.
No.
Right?
My God,
So
that's
you-
awful.
And then I
You kept her around a long
actually
time.
turned into, oh, yeah.
Frenemy.
And then I actually turned into the bad friend because 2 days before her wedding, I had to cancel being her maid of honor because I couldn't afford to not go to work. Because we had, young, dumb kids. Just everything's expensive when you're young. Me and my boyfriend were just trying to make ends meet, pay bills, do all of these things. And I had to go to work, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And since then, we haven't talked.
Well, I think you're better off
Oh,
without
so
her.
she cut you off for ditching her on her wedding, but really you should have cut off cut her off many times because she's a friend of me.
Well,
So maybe it all worked out.
look at it as a blessing in disguise.
But what if your ex-friend calls us during the segment?
This lady ditched me. My friend of all
What are
these
you
years
saying,
ditched
Eric?
me on
There's
my
two sides
wedding.
to every story.
Well, I mean, because like Sam, she had a friend that didn't.
Go to my
Canceled.
Yeah, I would have cut you off too.
That was like that was a
wedding.
communication
Do you
gap.
think, Lauren, now here's a question. A lot of times when the bad friend is the bad friend, they know they've screwed up somewhere along the way. Did your friend, in the years that you're telling us about the bad parts of life, did she know she screwed up and she was like, sorry, I'll try and do better? Or she just was like, yeah, whatever, just live in the carnage?
No, she's one of those that's like a pick me, not a girl's girl, like however you want to like phrase it nowadays. And it's been over 10 years since all of this happened. But no, she didn't care. She didn't see anything that she was doing wrong. I guarantee it.
Oh, you're better off without her.
That's the sad part. She thinks she got rid of you because of not going to her wedding. She doesn't think about the other things that she did to you all those
Oh
years.
my God.
I wouldn't
yes.
waste the energy thinking about her.
No.
Like, I mean,
Well,
at this
and
point,
here's the problem. When
It
you've
just
been
sucks. You wasted
burned by
the-
somebody
Yeah.
for so many years, you always know how bad they burned you, and they're just like, well, what? You're the one that did this
And what
to
are we
me.
learning, though,
I'm
Roula?
the victim. I'm the victim.
So far, we're learning the moms always know.
Moms always know. Listen
Moms-
to your mom.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
you who.
Your mom has a good gut instinct of who the toxic friend is. Get them out of your life.
like all the way probably to toddlers, you're like, oh, that kid's going to turn out bad.
Yeah, it's a bad kid. Anna's up next at 833-390-KRBE. We're talking about POS friends. These are friends that are toxic, terrible, should not be in your life. What did they do that ended your relationship? Maybe you thought they were great until this moment that ended the relationship. What was it? Hi, Anna. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, I had
Anna.
a friend. Hi. It's great to be on the show. This was about 20 years ago, and I had suffered a miscarriage, and it was really devastating for my husband and I. And my best friend at the time had just had a baby, and I was talking to her on the phone about it and crying and everything, and she just said, "Well, it's all your fault."
Huh?
Why would you?
And I said,
What?
"How is it my fault?" And she said, "Because you exercised." And I said, "Well, the doctor told me that I should
Oh, my
exercise." And so she went into this long thing about how it was all my fault. And so about mid-sentence, I hung up on her, and I never spoke to her again.
Good.
She would try to call me and text me, and I just wouldn't return her calls.
That's not a friend.
Then no. And so, yeah.
Wait,
that
I
was-
want to know. Hold on.
That's
Tell
so
me more
messed
about
up.
this. You cut her off cold because it's so offensive what she said, because you're right. And she's trying to
Yeah.
call you and text you, and at no point did she really try and go further, like show up at your door and be like, hey, what happened, Anna? Why'd you cut me off?
didn't-
Why
I
didn't you
shouldn't
talk
have
to me?
said that.
Does she realize what she said to you was so horrific?
I don't think she did. I think that she just thought maybe we just weren't, like, I don't know. It was weird. Like, she didn't really try too hard. And it could be because she had a new baby, too.
That's what I was
And
just thinking.
I'm going to tell you what she
That
thought.
doesn't matter.
And Anna's just jealous because I have a baby, and that's why she won't talk to me.
So terrible.
So in her mind, she's the victim.
Yeah.
Or she's
She
so
got
busy.
dumped
Yeah.
by you because
Yeah.
she has a baby and you don't have a baby.
That should
She
be
has
the bit.
no idea that she slaughtered you emotionally
People should
by
call
telling
in.
you it's your fault.
And we'll tell you what your other friend is thinking. Cause
Friend decoding?
Yeah.
Because you're right.
Friend decoding,
That's-
100%. That woman thinks she's the victim.
Yeah.
You're the witch because she has a new baby and you just don't understand.
But I mean, do you not see that it just seems like people are losing all common sense? Like you would know, you would think a
Nobody wants
decently
to think
raised
there's a
person
villain.
would think that it's not a good idea when somebody has just suffered a horrible loss like a miscarriage to criticize that person in any way, shape, or form.
Right. I mean, God, I can't even fathom.
I mean,
the
it
words.
should just be
It's your
inherent.
fault for exercising.
You know not to.
OMG. Let me give everybody some advice there. And may I speak for also a woman who's had a miscarriage, because I had one too. There is nothing that we, as the women who miscarried, are not already guilting and beating ourselves up over for losing that baby.
Yep.
That you could say to a woman to ever think it's going to help her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do not criticize a damn thing. Do not say, well, you drink a lot of lemonade. Maybe it was too bitter for the pregnancy. I mean, the stupidest crap has been said to people who lost babies.
Basically, just
It is
listen.
What do you
maddening.
hope
It
to
is
accomplish
maddening.
by
So what should
telling
people do?
somebody
They
that?
should just listen, right?
Just listen and offer just your love.
sympathy.
Yeah.
And especially like in my world, I got to give props to Eric's wife, Negi, because I know she suffered a miscarriage and she was my go-to person to call. Like I remember calling Negi from my bed in my tears. Like I just don't know what I did. It was my husband's birthday when I miscarried, my husband's birthday. And I remember my appointment was the very next day. And the nurse said, well, your appointment's tomorrow, but if you really feel like you should come in, and my gut instinct told me, I really think I need to come in there. Something's not right. And I'm washing my hands because, Sam, when you go to the gynecologist, first thing you got to do is you got to do a pee stick
Yep.
test no matter what.
Yep.
So I'm in there and I'm washing my hands. I look at myself in the mirror and I said, in 5 minutes, my life's going to change. And it's not going to be good. It was my husband's birthday. And I didn't know anybody else that had suffered one recently like me. And so I remember Negi would she was just awesome because it sucks. It sucks. And I already had 2 kids. 2 kids. Like nothing.
I
Right.
It was so great.
felt bad because I'm good at putting things out of my head.
Yeah.
And I never asked my wife about it. We don't talk about it because we went from having twins to 1 to none. And I just feel like how you feel still to this day.
Yeah.
I probably
never
should talk to her
leaves
about it. I
you.
just don't know how to
Well,
bring
also,
it up.
Erica, my husband says all the time he misses that. That's a void for him too because Little Peanut didn't make it, and we don't know why Little Peanut didn't make it, but Little Peanut didn't make it. And so, to have somebody that's already been through it, I mean, it's different for men. But remember, Tassos was in here when I came in here to tell you guys about it, and he was not on the mic. But he also mourned that loss. We think about that a lot.
It's funny. I must put it away, with my parents. That's something I put everything in there. I'm sure
in your lockbox.
I'll explode.
Your
one
metal
day.
heart lockbox.
I should get some therapy, I guess.
But
was that Better Life or Better Help?
BetterHelp.com. But Roula, I mean, thank God that you had a good friend like Eric's wife. This poor woman had a friend tear her down even further.
Well, it's your fault. You probably exercise too much.
Well, I mean, not. You've got to ask yourself the question before you say anything critical to somebody. Is this going to help them somehow by uttering those words?
There are a lot of people that say things they have no idea it was a mistake.
Or just don't say crap. Just listen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing to do in the world.
What do you need from me? How can I help you? How can I be here for you?
Just listening is the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Well, big Roula and Ryan hug to everybody who's mourning that, because it doesn't get talked about a lot. It's not something you bring up at parties. We don't do whole segments. Hey, guys, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we're going to talk miscarriages. It's not something you talk about. When it comes up naturally, you hit a chord. A lot of people have been.
That's when you find out how many people
have had it.
Have had it happen to
The
them.
people that reach out to you when you miscarry, it's stunning how many women have had one. So anyway, I just hug all of you mamas and dads who have mourned the loss of that, and I'm sorry. And I'm glad it comes up the way it does, so we can just acknowledge that. And I hope you cry through it. Maybe you didn't have a chance to cry through it, and you can just cry it out. Feel that clarity and that whatever you need to feel to breathe better, Y'all go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That's 8368. And leave us a message there about somebody that was in your life as a great friend and it all fell apart because they did something to ruin the relationship. Now, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, we were talking about Martha Stewart and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and how they're all connected. And if you don't know, well, you'll know next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
I'm very proud to present Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop on 104.1 KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas. Don't forget, crack the code, 8 o'clock every Monday through Friday. We give you the code that's super easy to crack. And then at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m., you have a chance to win 4 tickets to the Houston Ballet Nutcracker Market to shop. And we make you a finalist for a $1,000 shopping spree. You will find us at that market live on the radio on that Friday morning, guys. We cannot wait. I already have my outfit picked out, kids.
Oh, really?
I did get
excited.
a top.
Did
for
you?
it. Yeah.
Is it Christmas colors or is it UT colors?
No, this time.
Your top's okay. It's your bottoms that are
This
the problem
time
last week.
it's-
Last year, you didn't have Christmas bottoms.
They were Christmassy. Y'all are just
They were.
Don't
they
know
were,
colors.
They were orange.
No, we don't colors.
They were
UT.
like UT.
They were. It was a
UT
rusted
pants.
red checker
give me a
with a
break.
cute little Missy top. I didn't go all out this year. I think I'm gonna do maybe some fun shoes with my top.
Exciting.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, good times. You'll see us there live.
Eric, I'll call you. We'll coordinate our sweaters.
You
Socks.
should.
Oh, it'd be great.
We should. I know Eric has that Christmas tree zip up.
I gotta bring that
Yeah,
down.
Walmart has a lot of selection right now.
Some new
for
stuff?
some
Super
fun,
selection.
Yeah, for some fun sweatshirts and sweaters.
Oh, yeah, I'll go
That's
there.
where. Yeah, I just got mine from there. It's very basic.
Okay, let me get
That's
to
me. That's
us.
how
Basic girl.
who's funnier in this Nutcracker Market game. Well, none of us, because we're all focused on shopping. But there is a who's funnier page 6 story today about Martha Stewart, Ryan Reynolds, and even Hugh Jackman makes his way in there. Martha Stewart is the subject of the Netflix documentary we've talked about the last couple of days, and it shows how she made her money from nothing to something. She became the first woman billionaire ever. She was a stockbroker. People don't even know that about her. She was like the first female stockbroker, it seems, in that whole crazy boys club. It was so bad, she goes, there are things I will never talk about that happened in cabs. Meaning like things that she witnessed, things that she heard.
Like
Think
Wolf
about
of
it.
Wall Street, she
You're
was there at that time. I bet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart said that Ryan Reynolds is not funny in real life. He replied, I disagree with her, but I tried that once. The woman is unexpectedly spry. She really closed the gap after a mile or so.
Because they're neighbors.
Are they behind, are they backyard to backyard neighbors or next door neighbors?
I'm not sure. I think door to door because they could see each other. They'll talk.
She
was
said,
saying something about that. Like
What?
That's why she's like, he's not very funny.
yeah, she said,
Be serious
you want
or
to know something? So her voice is so like, I don't know what the
She's
voice is.
almost
Like so like,
monotone.
Monotone.
yeah,
just
monotone. She
yeah.
goes, you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Yeah.
No, he's not so funny. But Ryan Reynolds says he knew better than to step up on Martha. Responding to a tweet about Martha's comments, he said, I would disagree with her. I told you what he said. She closed the gaps after a mile or so, and Hugh Jackman, of course, always has to troll Ryan Reynolds. And he says, finally, somebody says it. Finally.
That's funny.
Now we have an update to an update. And this is one of these stories I like because you hear about celebrities in lawsuits. And you just hear the headline is usually, hey, so-and-so's being sued or so-and-so's suing somebody. And then we don't know what happens in the end because it takes years for lawsuits to really get the final decision, settlement, whatever it is. Ed Sheeran has won his appeal against Marvin Gaye's estate. I was thinking Morgan Wallen, but they didn't tussle.
He hasn't stole from him yet.
Ed Sheeran has come out victorious in an appeal case involving the 2014 song Thinking Out Loud, where Marvin Gaye's estate said, yeah, we need a piece of that song too, because that's part of Let's Get It On.
Well, they had gotten Robin Thicke.
But that was for a different song, not for Let's Get It On.
They're going after
everybody. That was for a different song.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran was first accused of musical plagiarism back in 2016 by the family actually of Ed Townsend, who co-wrote Let's Get It On. The suit was dismissed in 2017, but then it was followed by another lawsuit in 2018, and it was by a company that owns part of the royalties, claiming that Ed Sheeran copied Marvin Gaye's chord progression and rhythm. Well, on Friday, the court deemed that the two songs share only fundamental musical building blocks, and they ruled in favor of Ed Sheeran. So,
I mean, how do you even do anything original at this point?
that's what he said.
There's been so many recordings.
Once you've done it,
released.
then you got to be worried about, okay, I got this great song.
Does it sound like anything
You have
else?
to put it in some system to make sure it doesn't sound like anything else.
Yeah.
I don't even know
So
how
actually,
it works.
I'm
What's
gonna
the
speak
app
there.
where you play it and it tells you
Shazam?
Shazam.
If you put it
Yeah.
there, they go, oh, this is something else.
Actually, I misspoke. It's not Marvin Gaye's official estate then. It was the royalties sharing company that he won against.
What if it was a band, though, that like from 1996 that it was just, they made an album, sold 4 albums, and it was like their number 6 on their songs, and it was the same, sounded the same.
If they did it first and it was copied,
Yeah, that's
then
even though
it's
like, it's
confusing.
never, no one's
Even
ever
though
heard
nobody
it, no one
knows
knows
it.
where it's at.
yeah,
Did y'all remember the one with Sam Smith and Tom Petty in 2015?
Yeah, I remember
free
that.
falling. Yeah,
I remember we talked about that one.
It
No,
did.
it was
did
for I Won't
sound-
Back Down.
no, I think
And that's what it says here. In
Yeah, Won't Back
2015,
Down.
Was it I
Tom
Won't
Petty's
Back
name
Down?
was awarded a co-writing credit for
Yeah.
Sam Smith's Stay With Me
You're right.
because of the
Right.
I Won't Back Down similarity.
Won't back down.
Tom Petty said, all my years of songwriting have shown me these things can happen. He was
Yeah.
like, all right, I guess I'll take some of that.
He's like, I'll
Maybe
take the
it
money, though.
wasn't-
yeah.
It wasn't intentional.
That's crazy. So finally we have an end result from all those
Good
years.
for Ed,
ago.
because he's such a good writer that he doesn't want people to think he's a
A thief.
thief.
Plagiarizer.
stealing. Just
That's
like
for
what was that
sure.
movie when the guy was stealing the Beatles songs?
Oh, man. Yesterday, that is such a
Yesterday.
good movie. If you guys have not seen Yesterday,
It's good.
it is such a good movie. And there is such an awesome surprise in that movie. It's just epic. That movie should have done better, and it didn't. Find it on Apple TV Plus, I think. Yesterday. That's
It keeps happening every time.
It's like a traffic jam smashes into my ears with the honks.
They keep getting on the same.
That's okay.
Let me try
Technical
one more
glitch.
See if
time.
it works.
Today's not my day, y'all.
Hey, yo. Time for
Lord.
KRVE.
Last
Drew
drop.
and Ryan show
Mondays.
to tell you what's
It is a
going on.
Monday. Lord hates me. Sorry, Ryan.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, OpEx. That's the system we use.
Yeah, what the hell, OpEx?
Suck.
Operation X.
Make me look like I don't know how to do my job.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I like that.
All right. A Houston woman has been accused of trying to sell her newborn baby online. She's going to be back in court this morning. Juniper Bryson is charged with the sale of a child. She's accused of trying to sell her baby to the highest bidder on Facebook. This happened back in September.
Ryan, do you know the highest bidder's price?
I do not.
$150.
Shut up.
Oh, my God.
$150.
So the sale
That's
or
it?
purchase of a child in the state of Texas is a felony. Anybody convicted could face anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and be fined $10,000. Now, judge set Bryson's bond at $30,000.
What in
How
the
could
world?
anybody do something
I mean,
like
isn't that drugs, guys? When somebody's so desperate for drugs, you're like, I'll sell you my baby for $150. Right?
Yes.
Is it not? Have we not
Sickening.
heard of people in the bottom, rock bottom?
I
They're
mean,
like, I don't care. They're not. It's crazy.
They're not thinking straight. Instead of going to a firehouse where you can.
Yeah, you always
You
hear
know,
they can go to drop them off at a fire
Yes,
station.
if you cannot
Station,
take
but
care of your child, there are
they're just trying to get the money.
legitimate organizations where you can drop that child off. But to try and sell it
sickening.
on Facebook, oh God.
If you read the different news outlet stories, there was a woman that was set up to get it, but that woman's not in trouble because she was being interviewed by the news because she herself was adopted and wanted to adopt a baby to save that child the way she was saved.
Do they not teach this stuff in high school or school about like you can drop a kid off at a fire station or because you always hear stories like the kid had a baby at prom, left the kid in the bathroom stall or in a garbage or something. People not know this? They're afraid they're going to get in trouble because, like last week, didn't we talk to somebody that almost died? What were we talking about?
From what?
Did I dream that?
Dream talk with Eric.
We had somebody on and their friend almost died at a party.
Oh, yes.
Was that
That's
real
when
life?
the cop called. Yes, that was real life.
Yes.
And the cop called and said there's a law I wrote down in our stuff.
It's where you can drop off the person.
And you can drop off the person who's
without
been
fear of
underage
being-
drinking and not be reprimanded or arrested for underage drinking.
That's
You
what
can
it was.
safely get them to the ER.
Jeff was the cop.
Yes, Officer Jeff told us that. What the heck was it called? I wrote it down somewhere. I can't find it fast enough. But there's a law to protect you. So kids under the age of 21 who are drinking at a party and you see your friend has almost alcohol poisoned themselves to death, do not just drop them off and run
leave.
away
You're
or
afraid.
leave them somewhere
Yeah.
because you don't want to get in trouble. You are protected by law over that.
You're saving
By the
them.
way, the quote from Juniper Bryson was, "I'm not waiting until after to get paid. You're crazy. And I'd ask for a minimum of $150 for this baby up front." That was her quote for selling her baby. Crazy. All right, coming up next, what happened on Roula and Ryan's Roses last Thursday that had a lot of people up in arms over this burner phone in the doghouse. And then we talked to Brenda, who was testing her husband Patrick to find out more about this burner phone in the doghouse. And she gave us an update of what happened over the weekend. You're going to hear it all next on the Roula and Ryan Show.